In the enchanting kingdom of Eldoria, renowned for its vibrant culture and artistry, lived a young princess named Amara. At the age of 25, she was celebrated for her grace and beauty, yet her heart felt heavy with the weight of expectations that surrounded her. The palace was filled with rich tapestries and beautiful gardens, but behind the magnificent walls, Amara grappled with an inner turmoil that often went unnoticed by those around her. As the time approached for her to marry, the kingdom buzzed with excitement, eager to see who would win the affections of the beloved princess. Yet, Amara found herself disheartened. Despite her allure, suitors often shied away after their initial encounters, intimidated not only by her beauty, but also by her intellect and spirit. Her father, King Roland, was a wise ruler who encouraged Amara to pursue knowledge and passion. He filled their grand library with tomes of history, poetry, and science, often engaging her in discussions about the world beyond their castle walls. "There is so much more to discover, my dear," he would say, his voice echoing in the vast chambers, as they explored the intricacies of philosophy and art. The evenings spent together, diving into the pages of ancient texts, were the brightest moments of her life. When King Roland passed, Amara felt as if a light had dimmed within her. He had not only been her father but her greatest ally and friend. Alone in the castle, surrounded by his books and memories, she sought solace in learning, burying herself in literature and art. The once vibrant library now felt like a mausoleum, echoing the silence of her grief. As she reached the age of marriage, suitors came to her door, each more charming than the last. Yet, as they conversed, they quickly realized that Amara was not the typical princess. Her thoughts often wandered to subjects of science and the universe, and their conversations would soon dwindle, leaving her feeling more isolated than ever. "Your Highness, you possess such beauty," they would say, their eyes sparkling with admiration. "Thank you," she would reply graciously, hoping to steer the conversation into deeper waters. "Have you ever considered how the stars reflect our dreams and aspirations?" But the young men would glance at one another, their expressions revealing confusion. No, I haven't," one would eventually respond, his discomfort evident. Amara would smile politely, yet deep inside, she understood that these men were not seeking a partner, but rather a trophy to showcase. They sought a princess who would conform to their expectations, not one who would challenge their perceptions. As the days turned into months, Amara felt the pressure of her impending fate. She resigned herself to the idea that perhaps she would remain unmarried, destined to live in the shadows of her father's legacy. Yet within her, a spark of creativity flickered, waiting for the right moment to ignite. One afternoon, while wandering the castle gardens, she stumbled upon an old, abandoned music room. Dust covered the grand piano, and cobwebs hung from the corners, but Amara felt an inexplicable pull towards it. As she approached the instrument, her fingers brushed against the keys, and a haunting melody escaped into the air. The sound was both foreign and familiar, awakening a part of her that had long been dormant. The room, filled with memories of laughter and joy from a time when music filled the air, resonated with her soul. With each note she played, she felt a sense of freedom, a release of the pent-up emotions that had weighed her down. That moment was transformative. She had discovered a hidden talent that had been dormant for far too long. Each note she played echoed her emotions: joy, sorrow, longing, giving voice to the feelings she could not express in words. The melodies danced around her, weaving tales of love and loss, of dreams and aspirations. The following days were filled with music as Amara poured her heart into every melody. With each practice, her confidence grew. She realized that this talent, once hidden beneath layers of expectation, was her true calling. As she played, she imagined herself sharing her music with the kingdom, her melodies becoming a bridge between her heart and the hearts of others. As the kingdom prepared for the grand festival where the princess was expected to choose a suitor, Amara faced a dilemma. Should she continue to hide her newfound passion, or should she reveal her talent to the world? The festival was a time for celebration, but for Amara, it was also a reminder of the expectations placed upon her. She watched as other young women prepared for the festivities, adorned in their finest dresses, practicing their curtsies and smiles. Yet, Amara felt out of place. The thought of conforming to the traditional expectations of a princess weighed heavily on her heart. She longed to be seen not just for her beauty, but for her mind and spirit. The festival arrived, vibrant and filled with excitement. Colorful banners waved in the gentle breeze, and laughter resonated through the streets. Yet, Amara felt a storm brewing within her, torn between tradition and her desire to express her true self. As night fell, the castle was aglow with twinkling lights, casting a magical aura over the festivities. The air was thick with anticipation as suitors gathered, each eager to impress the princess. Amara stood at the balcony, observing the lively crowd below, her heart racing with uncertainty. That evening, as the stars illuminated the night sky, she made her decision. Amara would perform. She would share her music with the kingdom, allowing her heart to speak through the notes. Clad in a flowing gown adorned with shimmering threads that caught the light, she felt both nervous and exhilarated. When her turn came, she stepped onto the grand stage, her heart pounding in her chest. The audience fell silent, their eyes fixed upon her. As she began to play, the haunting melody filled the air, weaving a spell over everyone present. In that moment, she was no longer just a princess. She was an artist, pouring her soul into the music. Each note resonated with her deepest emotions, flowing effortlessly from her fingers. The crowd was entranced, and a newfound appreciation blossomed in their hearts. No longer did they see just beauty. They witnessed a talent that transcended the conventional expectations of a princess. As she finished her performance, the audience erupted into applause. Among the crowd stood a young man named Kian, who had come from a distant village. Unlike the other suitors, he was not intimidated by Amara's intelligence or creativity. Instead, he saw her for who she truly was, a remarkable woman with a vibrant spirit. With every passing moment, Amara felt the walls around her heart crumble. As the applause faded, Kian approached her, his eyes filled with admiration. "Your music is enchanting, princess. You have a gift that deserves to be celebrated." Amara smiled, her heart swelling with joy. For the first time, she felt seen and valued for more than just her appearance. Kian's sincerity ignited a spark of hope within her, and they began to share stories of their dreams, aspirations, and the beauty of the world around them. As the festival came to a close, Amara had discovered not only her hidden talent, but also a connection that transcended the boundaries of expectation. With Kian by her side, she realized that true love would not come from conformity, but from embracing who she truly was. The days that followed were filled with music and laughter as Amara continued to explore her passion, not only for her art, but for life itself. She learned that beauty lies not just in appearances, but in the authenticity of one's spirit. Together with Kian, she traveled the kingdom, sharing her music and inspiring others to embrace their unique gifts. As word of Amara's talent spread, the kingdom became captivated by her performances. People from all walks of life gathered to hear her play, their hearts swelling with emotion as they connected with her melodies. The music transcended barriers, weaving a tapestry of unity and understanding throughout Eldoria. The villagers began to see Amara in a new light. No longer was she just a princess. She was a beacon of inspiration, encouraging others to follow their passions and embrace their true selves. With each performance, she broke down the walls of expectation, allowing her spirit to shine brightly. As the seasons changed, so did the kingdom. The grand palace that once echoed with silence now resonated with laughter and music. Amara's performances became a symbol of hope, drawing people together in celebration of their individuality and creativity. But even as her star continued to rise, Amara faced moments of doubt. She struggled to balance her responsibilities as a princess with her newfound passion for music. The kingdom's expectations still loomed over her, and she often questioned whether she was truly fulfilling her duties. One evening, after a particularly stirring performance, Amara found herself alone in the music room, her heart heavy with uncertainty. As she sat at the piano, her fingers hesitated over the keys, the weight of her dual identity pressing down on her. Amara, she whispered to herself, are you truly making a difference? Or are you just indulging in a fantasy? In that moment of vulnerability, the door creaked open, and Kian stepped inside, sensing her distress. What troubles you, my princess? He asked gently, taking a seat beside her. Amara sighed, her gaze fixed on the keys. I fear I am failing my kingdom. I am expected to lead, to be a perfect princess. Yet, all I want is to play my music and explore the world.